Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Trifive Guy, and in this video I'm going to show you what I did on this side of the 2003 F-250, and also I bought some land in Bloomfield, Kentucky, and very nice 5 acres over there. I know a few of you guys have been wondering where I finally bought some property. Yeah, so it's Bloomfield, Kentucky is where I bought, and I want to show you their version of Cadillac Ranch. You know, with all the Cadillacs there in Texas, they're all, you know, buried in the ground. They've got John Deere tractors buried that way, and it's only a minute and a half sort of a take of what I saw down there. And yeah, so stick around guys, see what I've done to the on this side of the F-250, and check out that John Deere ranch. I'm pretty sure everyone calls it. So they just did it a couple of weekends ago, so it's new, worth driving out there if you're in the area and checking it out for sure. And the whole of Bloomfield, it's a beautiful place, it really is. Pretty neat old historical town. So please guys, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'd appreciate it, thanks. We're in Bloomfield, Kentucky, and we come across this display of John Deere tractors. Bloomfield, Kentucky's version of Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. Pretty cool, huh? All John Deere's, all lined up like that. They just did it last week apparently, and the owners are Jerry and Linda Bruckheimer, director. He's done a few movies there, directed a few movies, and this is his estate. I don't know, it's a few acres. I know it's in the multiple acres, but isn't that cool? I just can't get close enough. I don't have permission to film it, but I thought I'd stop and have a look. And a whole heap of John Deere tractors, and I bet you a good name would be John Deere Ranch. That's cool. I just can't.
I always think you're filming them. They're behind it.
Oh yeah,
They're behind the tractor.
I see that. Yeah, isn't that cool, huh? Bloomfield, Kentucky's version of Cadillac Ranch, John Deere Ranch. Alright guys, just a quick update on the channel. As we said, we're in Bloomfield, Kentucky. We just bought 5 acres here, and gonna be a nice place to live. Beautiful. Thanks for watching guys, and see you on the next one. Alright guys, I just put the inner cab corner and the outer cab corner, this inside jam section, and I've just placed the outer rocker, striker plate rocker, the rear one. I just put that in position. I usually just measure what it was. I pick the middle and I measure back whatever that distance is from there to that hinge over there. But like you can't really tell, but the inner, the jam's in, so you know, it's all welded. I've already ground that, and I had to put a little piece very similar to the other side right here. It was because this was rusty. Actually it was good, but I just took more than I should have off in this area, so I had to put a section back in there. But look at this. This is aftermarket panels, and you know what, we're lucky to have aftermarket panels. But there's my outer rocker panel. It's butted up nicely on the inner rocker panel that I did, but look at the gap between here and there. There's like a good 1/4 inch gap to nothing to 1/4 inch, and I already put a section in there, if you can see, and just tacked it in there because I've got to fit the door. But look at the gap. They don't even meet. They don't even give you enough overlap on this return to join these two pieces up. Isn't that funny how they do that? I could probably weld up to there and put a little section in there, which is what I'm going to do. But it's all on, and this is, I always butt weld everything, and I try to get it as nice and tight as you can. Never overlap. Now, I've got another video I'm doing of the bed, and whoever put the quarter panel trims on, they overlapped it, and I'll show you how it creates rust when you overlap a panel. This is me and how I do it. You know, take it as you will, but I never ever overlap a panel. You will get rust in between it, condensation, whatever, because you can't seal it. You can't get to the other side and seal that properly. Always butt weld. It's bad enough that you can't get to the inside to spray something where the weld is on the inside, but you know, just butt weld it all the way across, and you know, stitch the back, spot welds, and spot welds under there. But let me get the door on and see how good we've got a gap through here. And I'm saying it's going to be pretty good, but you never know. Don't weld it all the way and then find out you got to recut it and move it. So that would not be good. Okay, so I fitted the door, and always got to check this line here against your new cap corner. And yeah, that's right on the money there. And then I just put a couple of more tacks. Like I said in the other video, I just tack. I don't never fully shot weld it. I just hold it and then just weld it. Spot welds down here, spot welds down the bottom. It's all pretty right profile. There's no distortion. I'll grind it, put a little bit of filler on that, scuff down the black coating, really good. And then I'll open the door here for a second. Okay, and that's just sitting in there. It's loose. It's pretty loose here, so I just got to put a few holes in there and spot weld that in. And yeah, I just put a bolt on it just to hold the door, and then yeah, detail everything and clean it up and paint it the same colour green. I'm just going to tape it off through here and up through here and just blend it up into. I'll just blend it up into here, and that'll be good. So yeah, it's got blown out on the bottom here. You can see just there, it's pretty nasty. So I'm going to delete the muffler, leaving the cat, but just putting the muffler on, the straight out pipe there. Engine's all done, battery's on charge, tyres are on, factory size tyres. They're 235 85 16s, just factory fitted, whatever the factory put on size wise. Had to put a new intercooler tube pipe in there, had a big crack in it, so it would have been losing boost pretty good. Everything's back on, starts up real good now, starts up perfect. So this engine hasn't been bulletproofed. Something I'm probably going to do. I'll see how I like it. If I do decide to keep it, I'm going to replace the doors or the door bottoms. I'm just going to buy they want like $600 for a pair of doors. I can repair these doors. I can get both sides rust repairs done. I'll probably have a door done in one day, inner and outer, and you get like half of this, and you get up to here, you get across here. So I mean, the rest of the door, it's good. Just paint the bottom of the door, it'll be like new again. You know, so why not? And I can get it done for like $179, $220 or something like that for both repair sections on both sides. So why not? Just keep the doors, and then I don't have to paint the whole door again. But yeah, and then that's it. The bed's just about done. I'll show you on the next video of that. So that's it. All right, guys. Please, like I said earlier, please like, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000. T-shirt giveaway for 800's coming up. I think I'm about 730 or 735 now as far as subscribers. So keep going, guys. Please like and subscribe. And you know, once I'm in the new place, I'll be back doing proper older cars and restoration and new stuff, or newer stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.